You are tuned to WBAI, as I said, the morning show. Please do stay tuned. Another film from the African Diaspora International Film Festival. Let's share a little bit of that with you.
You're not picking up the phone, I'm texting you.
Being a single parent, raising 8 kids was really, really very overwhelming.
Having 8 children without a partner is really not very practical. All children grow up with the concept that they're supposed to have a mother, father. Regardless of race, ethnicity, that's something that our society promotes.
The black family and the idea of what it should look like has been greatly impacted from slavery.
In Africa, the family was stable, it had access to resources, and people were always willing. But coming to the slave plantation, the stability was undermined.
Try to get fathers to understand your paycheck is not your worth. We have to get to understand it's your time.
Just in case you didn't know, DAD is important. DAD stands for do's and don'ts, dedicated and devoted dollars and discipline. So in most cases, when you ask a child where their fathers is, fathers delegate and dads participate.
The mental capacity to work, to not quit, those are things that I look back at my father and that really made a big difference to me.
Girls get their value from their fathers.
Every time I hear about fathers, there's that bad fathers. But there are a bunch of good fathers, and there are a bunch of fathers that want to have their children.
We need to help all those mothers out there who are raising their kids by themselves. The mothers who drop them off at school and go to work and pick them up in the afternoon and work another shift.
I made it my business. And, to set out and say, I'm not going to be an unwed mother, that was my whole goal.
And that's a trailer from the film by Rachel Miller-Bradshaw. She is a local filmmaker, and the name of the film is On My Own. It's part of this Women in Film series that's at Teachers College, and I have Rachel Miller-Bradshaw on the line, as well as Diara Indospec, one of the co-directors of the African Diaspora Film Festival. Diara, let's start with you, if you would, talk about this Women in Films series, and then we'll speak with Rachel.
Sure. Thank you so much for having us again today. This is a program that is dear to my heart. As you know, March is the month where we celebrate women. And this month in the program, we have 11 films from 6 countries: Cuba, Haiti, Brazil, the USA, Senegal, and Cape Verde. Our goal is always to present the work of independent women and very different perspectives. We have a very important program talking about Brazil that explores the African retention in religious traditions in Cuba and Brazil. That program is called Santeria and Candomblé, and that's going to be programmed on Friday, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And we have films that deal with friendship, that deal with motherhood, as we're going to talk about. We have one filmmaker we are programming, we're presenting. Her name is Kadi Silla. She's from Senegal, and she's one of the few very important female filmmaker coming from that country. We're going to have 2 films from her. So, as usual, I'm very excited, and I want Rachel to talk about her film because it's really, really important.
Yes, absolutely. Rachel Miller-Bradshaw, let's talk a bit about this film, On My Own. Please tell us about it.
Okay, well, On My Own, good morning, everyone, first off. Well, On My Own is an eye-opening documentary that shatters the stigma of single motherhood, and it's what it does is it sweeps through the Black experience in America, and it provides a comprehensive attitude, and it's a refreshing breeze that cools the often heated and often unproductive discourse of Black family life in America. It's a well-balanced film, and through conversations with single mothers, fathers, and community leaders, as well as family experts, the documentary offers another facade to the one-sided image of single motherhood. But what it also does is it explores practical solutions to solve this epidemic, because as we speak right now, about 70% of Black children in America live in a home with only one parent. 90% of that is female-headed.
Okay, and Rachel, what inspired you to make this film? And I'm sure it was an enormous undertaking on your part. What inspired you to do so?
Growing up, my father was in the home until I was 11 years old, and then my mother and father divorced. Well, my mother divorced my father, and it was 4 of us in the house. And
how old were you at that time, Rachel?
I was 11 years old.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was 11, so I was used to having my father in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And so after the divorce, my mother was left to raise 4 of us on her own, and at times it was very hard coming on and off, being system dependent, and at times it just was a struggle because it was 4 of us. Mm-hmm. So in addition to my own experience with single motherhood, I grew up in Harlem where I would see single-parent homes all around me, and it was just kind of like the norm to not see a father in the home, and it was just kind of the mentality of the community. So it kind of always stayed with me, and I always wondered about it. But what really made me decide to do the film was fast forward to my early 20s, and one of my best friends became a young mother, and she would vent to me about how her son's father was not helping. And she expressed to me how one time she really had a conversation with him and let him know that, you don't help and you don't know how your son is fed, clothed, or sheltered. And his response was, I know you can take care of it. Mm. And I just had an epiphany right then and there, like, this is just really our psyche as far as what the family structure is like in the African-American community, and we've just accepted it. And I said, well, why is this so? Why do Black women feel like they're strong enough to do it on their own and they'll just do it? And why have Black men just taken a back seat as far as some of them, as far as like, I know she's going to be strong enough to do it if I can't really help because of whatever inadequacy that they're feeling. So I said, well, this has had to start from somewhere. This just didn't come out of the air, out of nowhere. So I just decided to explore it more. And on my journey, I learned about slavery and the premise of the African-American family here that set the tone for the instability that we now have as far as the African-American family.
Well, I applaud you, Rachel. I got a couple of things to do tomorrow, but I am definitely going to try to get over there to see this film. I applaud your efforts, and I want all of the WBAI listeners, the people that tune into the morning show every day, Monday through Friday, to get over there. DRN.spec, how can people, once again, get over there? Where can they go? Tell us right now.
Okay, so Rachel's film is playing on Saturday at 8 p.m., and she will be there, so we'll have a discussion after the screening. Everything is going to be at Teachers College starting tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. with a free screening of Reshipment by Gloria Rolando from Cuba. So Teachers College, Columbia University, 525 West 120th Street, and the website NY for New York, ADI, F as in Frank.org. Phone number 212-864-1760.
1760. DRN.spec, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rachel Miller-Bradshaw, thank you. Hope to see you Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.